Hello, and welcome to the FCBC Christmas Eve special. With all of the challenges 2020 has brought us, we think it's time to bring some holiday cheer virtually to you. Be sure to text a friend, like, comment, and share this experience. Also, feel free to add FCBC NYC on all social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and even YouTube. Now, to bring us some holiday cheer is none other than FCBC's very own Pastor Mike.
Hey, FCBC family, it's Pastor Mike here. It is Christmas Eve, and I know many of us are preparing for tomorrow, which is a big day for so many. We're also aware that this Christmas may be challenging for so many as well. So we wanted to offer some reflection, some thoughts, some music, a few words, just to galvanize us in this season and in this moment. Before I come back with a few words and a message, I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy this musical selection from our music ministry.
We give you all the glory. We worship you, our Lord. You are worthy to be praised. We give you all the glory. on, say your peace. Your peace you give me in time of the storm. Say you are the source of my strength. Yes, you are. You are the strength of my life. Come on, can we declare that today? Say you are. You are. Yeah. The source of my strength. Yes, you are. You are the strength of my life. Come on, can we declare that at home? Say you are. You are the source of my strength. Yes, you are. You are the strength of my life. And I lift my head. I lift my hands in total praise to you. Say that there's something about the name Jesus. Something about the name Jesus. It is the sweetest name I know. Oh, how I love the name Jesus. Oh, how I love the name Jesus. It is the sweetest name I know. Something about the name Jesus. Something about the name Jesus. It is the sweet. It is the sweetest name I know. Oh, how I love the name Jesus. Oh, how I love the name Jesus. It is the sweetest name I know. Some people think I'm crazy, but I can't explain the power that I feel when I call your name. When I call your name, said it's just like fire, set up in my bones. When the Holy Ghost sweet. It is the sweetest name. I know. Wave your hand and say, oh, oh, how I love the name Jesus. Oh, how I love the name Jesus. It is the sweet. It is the sweetest name. I know. Such a sweeter than in the honeycomb. The Holy Ghost gets to you, man. So they won't leave me alone. At the name of Jesus, every knee shall bow down. And you don't have to wait till the fire. Just wave your hand and praise Him right now. And there's something about it. Something about the name Jesus. Wave your hand if you know the name. Something about the name Jesus. It is the sweet. It is the sweetest name. I know. Oh, how I love the name Jesus. Wave your hand if you love the Lord today. Oh, how I love the name Jesus. It is the sweet. The sweetest name. I know. Everybody say I know. Something about that name. We love the name Jesus. Oh, we love to call your name.
Hey family, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that musical selection from our amazing music team. I thought of words that could be shared tonight on Christmas Eve. And this is Advent season. This is the season where we celebrate the nativity, the birth of Jesus. And in Luke, the 2nd chapter, verses 8 through 13, is a story that is very familiar, but one that I think speaks to us in particular in this season, in this year, in the midst of all that has happened and transpired. That story is the scene of the shepherds in the field watching the flock by night. The story says that an angel appears surrounded by the glory of God. The light of God is surrounding those shepherds. And the shepherds are terrified. They're afraid. The angel tells them, don't be afraid. In the midst of the darkness, in the midst of their fear, the angel says, don't be afraid. This is a time of great joy, great celebration, because tonight the Savior, the Messiah, has been born. And then the angel says something powerful to them. This is the sign that the Savior has come, that the Messiah is born. This is the sign. And here's the sign, that in that manger is a baby wrapped in bands, rags, in a manger, because there was no room in the inn. Think about that. The angel said the sign the Messiah has been born is that right now in Bethlehem, in a barnyard, wrapped in rags, is a child. Think about that. Children represent vulnerability. Vulnerability wrapped in rags is the sign that the Messiah, the chosen one, the Savior, has come. Many of us would think that a sign from God of something that is supposed to give birth to so much joy and so much celebration would not come in a barnyard surrounded by animals and filth, wrapped in rags. At sight, it doesn't look like anything significant. But maybe that is a sign of not only how God shows up, but those moments where God is present. Present in the barn, present among the animals, present with this baby, not adorned with fine linen and cloth, but wrapped in rags. That God shows up in those moments. This year has been a moment like that. This year has been a year where we have all experienced our own vulnerability. We've all encountered those moments where we have felt helpless, unable to find any sense of being in the midst of this pandemic, searching and groping for meaning, led by the question of why. This has been a tough year. It's a year that we had no choice but to become transparent. A year where we had no choice but to become more vulnerable. We were made vulnerable by the conditions. But here in this passage in Luke 2, somehow, what is worthy of celebration, what is worthy of great joy, is vulnerability wrapped in rags in a space and a place that most of us would not gravitate towards. And somehow in that space, in that place, is the hope of the future. For me, that gives me a different sense of hope. That hope can begin in spaces where we might deem hopeless. That hope can be birthed in spaces that may not be the most conducive for all of us, but maybe the right space and place for God. This season, this Christmas season, this Advent season, as we remember and celebrate the birth of new possibility. Don't believe or begin to think that somehow new possibility can only be birthed in spaces that reflect newness. But maybe new possibility is birthed in places that can be characterized by vulnerability, by even poverty, and even the idea of having nowhere to go. And somehow God's hope, God's glory comes in those spaces. Those spaces. Spaces that many of us have become quite familiar with in this year. People who've lost jobs, families that have felt the decimation by way of the pandemic, people who've become homeless because of the loss of jobs, families who are now struggling for meals and have to wait for hours in food pantry lines around the country. Vulnerability wrapped in rags in spaces that we would not look for the move of God. But maybe in this season, this Advent season, this story is a reminder that even in those spaces, even in these conditions, even with these realities, these harsh realities, something powerful can be born. Possibility can come alive. And that becomes the hope. Not hope that things can turn around in an instant. We know that's not the case. But hope that possibility is always on the agenda. And that we are invited in this season of Advent to lean into possibility, even if the possibility is birthed by way of our own vulnerability. Maybe that is a thought for this Advent season. So tomorrow, as you get ready to celebrate the exchange of gifts and love with friends and family, loved ones, don't think about what you don't have. Think about what you do have. Because no matter what your station in life, no matter what your place in life, no matter what your circumstance or situation, possibility is always real. Why? Because you must never forget that you and I, all of us, are the embodiments of infinite possibility. Infinite possibility. Infinite possibility. I pray you have a blessed Christmas, but most of all, family, remember to celebrate it and make sure that you live, you love, and you serve. Peace and blessings.
FCBC, thanks for worshiping with us. We have several easy ways for you to stay connected throughout the week. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at FCBC NYC and visit our website for a complete calendar of events. You can also head over to our YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button to view weekly video content and sermons. And don't forget about our new merch available at our online retail store at shop.fcbcnyc.org. Until next time, we want to thank you for your consistent support. Please continue to give to FCBC online through our website, mobile app, and by texting your donation to 1-315-216-5145 and the amount you want to give. But last but not least, continue to live, love, and serve.